Being the first season of the Witch Queen expansion, Risen came at us short and sweet. Now, in the past, seasons that come with the launch of a new expansion are kind of the pits, looking at you guys over there. But Risen was an actual banger. The story was not very long, but it was well written and meaningful, with lasting impacts on the game. The term Risen is used when referring to those resurrected by ghosts, like us, the Guardians, or in this case, Savathûn's Lucent Brood. After clashing with Kaido's forces in the opening mission of the Witch Queen, we form a coalition with the Cabal to foil whatever nasty plot the Lucent Brood is enacting. This does come with a warning from Kaido. The previous clash is forgiven, but anything more will not be overlooked. Using the Cabal's light-suppressing technology that they recovered from the Red Legion, we spend each week capturing Hive Lightbearers for study. And this study is more of a psychic interrogation, Kaido's scions setting up and plugging in the helm. Saladin and Zavala both express that they don't like the idea of resorting to this psychic manipulation, but decide it's necessary for the greater good against Crow's growing concerns. We get a really beautiful cutscene as Saladin talks to Crow about his past, and how your actions have consequences. No matter how good the intention of those actions are, you have no control over what happens next. Crow's conflict comes because he feels a weird semblance of camaraderie with these Hive Lightbearers. Hive were monsters, yes. But to Crow, he was also a monster. He was Uldren Sov. He killed Cade. All that being before he was resurrected as a Guardian. To Crow, these Risen Hive had the potential to be no different than him. A clean slate, regardless of the monsters they were before. As the Lucent Brood's plan to take the Scarlet Keep becomes clear, we get dispatched to stop it, but are unable to contact Crow during the mission. And then we return to the helm, and we find him in this psychic containment room, standing over the dead Scion, one of Kaido's most trusted advisors, having unplugged the Scion from the Lucent Hive, unaware of the consequences. And Kaido, true to her word, demands a life for a life. Tensions rise and Zavala almost refuses to hand Crow over to her, but then Saladin steps in. He offers his own life in place of Crow's, and she accepts, but she respects Saladin, his bravery here in this moment and on the battlefield, and instead of claiming his life, she appoints him to the War Council for the rest of his days. This story unfolded over only 4 weeks compared to a season's usual 7 or 8, but that only made it more concise, not riddled with filler or repeat activities like a lot of other seasons. And while things seemed kind of shaky throughout, the season ends with our coalition stronger than ever, Saladin binding us and the Cabal even closer. This also narratively paved the way for Iron Banner changes coming in the future seasons, especially the new Fortress mode. And Crow, my sweet, sweet boy Crow. Not gonna lie, this was a rough season for him. But it's the setup for his character development in Season of the Haunted, and it pushes him even closer to that Hunter Vanguard position. So that's the season narratively, but what else happened? What about the loot? The Risen guns actually kinda kicked ass. Of the 6 seasonal weapons, none of them were trash, and probably about half of them were A or S tier. We got Peace of Mind, which was pretty much a laser in the Crucible, the special stasis PV boss damage machine that is the Thoughtless Sniper Rifle, and Explosive Personality, a craftable auto-loading waveframe launcher. Pretty much all 3 of these weapons, in my opinion, S tier. And after that, a solid Void Bow, Stasis Machine Gun, and for an auto rifle, not bad either. The Dead Messenger exotic was pretty cracked, even if Vox Obscura mission got really boring really quick. And the Grand Overture was really cool and very unique, but it mostly just sat around and gathered dust until its buffs right before Lightfall. This season also came with the Void 3.0 rework, which was the first of the light subclass reworks and gave us a good look at the customization and build crafting options we could come to expect later. And as for the activities, Psyop Battlegrounds are good. You're gonna hear people complaining about them, saying they got boring, but yeah, if you run 50 of anything within a 3-month period, you're gonna get pretty bored of it too. Personally, I enjoy these a lot, especially after going back and playing some of them now after 6 months of not touching them. They had good enemy density, perfect length, and I really hope they get the Chosen Battleground treatment and get shoved into the Strike playlist, which is in serious need of refreshing. Since this season came out with a brand new expansion, there's no raid that is actually associated with it. Other seasons lately usually get either a reprised raid or a new dungeon. But since this came out with Witch Queen, the Vow of the Disciple raid, the brand new one, is tied to the expansion, not this season. But that's really the only negative thing I have to say about Season of the Risen. Personally, Bungie knocked everything else out of the park. So Risen's getting a spot pretty high up there on my tier list, and it's a season that I think I will remember fondly for quite some time. And that's your 5-minute recap on Season of the Risen. Make sure to like, comment, and sub down below, and I'll see you guys next time.